Hello YouTube, this is Carrie, and tonight we're recording my vlog as if it were an episode of Pillow Talk. Because for whatever reason, my stupid normal lighting decided to make me look ugly, so, I kind of had to do a side angle with softer lighting to soften my face because as I'm losing weight, my face is getting bonier, and the direct light only emphasized it, so it kind of pissed me off, so I decided to put on some red lipstick and lay in a seductive position, and who am I kidding? I'm just doing it because it makes me feel comfortable. Especially because I was very tense in the first shoot. So let's get this topic out of the way. It kind of emphasizes something that I've been thinking about recently, which is facial feminization surgery. I brought this up a couple other times, but today I want to talk about its relationship to gender reassignment surgery and how it's kind of a bummer that in my case having one means that I can't have the other. And tonight especially made me think about FFS because I feel like the appearance of my face is just so variable. It's like one day I can look in the mirror and feel completely gorgeous and completely feminine and not want to touch anything about my appearance, and then there's nights like tonight where, no matter what I do to myself, I look in the mirror and I can't see anything but a man. And, I have to do some, special lighting to soften things, and it's just really distressing that I have to put that much effort into worrying about whether my face looks feminine or not. I mean, I'm a girl, goddammit. Whether my face looks female or not should not be in question. So I really want to just be able to get surgery and get the damn thing done with and be able to look in the mirror and actually have a face that I feel like I can have confidence that it's feminine on a fundamental level, and not have to worry about people being able to clock me based on just my jaw and all these other facial features that are less than ideally feminine. Last night and tonight again, I decided, I'm getting really bummed that I feel trapped in the same clothes all the time, but and I want to wear more feminine clothes, My wardrobe is so bland. This is what I wear to work. And, it's like it works, but I feel like some middle-aged, frumpy woman with no fashion sense, And I asked for suggestions on Facebook, and people said, well, study other girls your age and see what they're wearing, and that'll give you an idea of what you should wear yourself. And so I do that. The problem is, though, the things that look good on them wouldn't look good on me because their bodies are just so much more naturally feminine. I tried to put something together last night and do a video of myself wearing it, and this is what resulted. And on the one hand, it's something that I'd want to wear because it's not just hiding my body in, a giant ugly bag trying to cover up all of my unfeminine features. It's actually something that shows off my arms and my legs. The problem is I feel very transy and clocky when I wear things like that. And I feel like the way my face looks, especially if you look at this angle, it looks like my entire face is a giant square. And, my hairline doesn't help, my chin and jaw don't help, so it's just such a bummer to not be able to experiment with stuff because I'm afraid that I look clocky. And having to worry every day about whether my face looks feminine enough and whether I myself look feminine enough to just pass unquestionably. And that's the thing, is I just want to be done with this. I want to be a girl, appearance-wise, not just in my head, unquestionably, so that I never have to worry about whether people are clocking me or seeing me as a girl or not. It's just something that I want to be done with, and I want it out of my life for good. And, right now there's always this unsupportive voice in the back of my head that tells me that all the acceptance that I'm getting is just a facade, that people are just humoring me, that, well, really, you are so blatantly clockable. Everybody can tell that you're trans the instant that they see you. And that unsupportive, mean voice just keeps saying that to me. So, you know, the conundrum with me is that I don't have the money to afford both facial feminization surgery and gender reassignment surgery at the moment. And now, with my income, I'm only able to save up about $400 to $500 a month for gender confirming surgery. So at the present moment, with $5,000 in my bank account, I'm about a year away from being able to afford either one or the other. However, after that first one, I will be back to being completely broke. So then I'll be needing to start from square one to once again save up like $12,000, $13,000. And again, I'm only going to be putting away like $400 or $500 a month. So it's going to take me like 2.5 to 3 years once one has happened to get the other. Unless by some miracle I'm promoted to full-time at work before then, which is unlikely since we have 26 full-time dealers. They only open up an extra position if one of them quits, and I've heard they promote about 2 or 3 a year on average, and I'm like 10th on the list right now, so that's going to be a while. I'm willing to be patient because it pays so well. You know, on the nights that I'm dealing, I make almost $30 an hour, so it's worth waiting for. Once I get promoted to full-time, trust me, I am going to be able to get any gender-confirming surgery I want. And I'm going to take that option because I want to be done so badly. I just want to be done. You know, I just want to look in the mirror and not only see a feminine face, I want to see the right genitals. I want to just look at me and just be a girl unquestionably and not say, well, I'm a girl, but the genitals, but the face, yada, yada, yada. I've harped on this already. So it's just such a tough decision trying to figure out which one is causing me more dysphoria. On the one hand, my genitals are a big problem because it's keeping me from dating, you know. I feel like nobody could find me attractive with my current genital anatomy, and even if someone could find me attractive, I don't know if I'd be comfortable with it, you know. I was in a relationship with a cis girl pre-transition, and, you know, I didn't feel comfortable the entire time because my own genital anatomy felt wrong. And especially, you know, like in my present state, not even cuddling is enjoyable because then, you know, what happens when you get physically close to somebody and, you know, you feel their soft body against you, this happens. And then all of a sudden you have this body part that feels like it shouldn't be there in the first place, that is like intruding on someone else's space and just making me feel so hideous. It's like, oh, I'm a freak because of this. That's what I feel like. And, you know, I had to deal with that through the entire time that I was in a relationship with her. And I think if no matter who I was in a relationship with, that would just feel so soul-crushingly bad, you know. And, you know, I read all these accounts of people cuddling and they're like, you know, talking about the oxytocin and the bonding hormones, and I got a little taste of that where I felt the closeness, but I couldn't enjoy it because of this stupid body part getting in the way and making me feel like my very body was betraying me. And that's just how it's been since puberty, is that I've been completely unable to enjoy my sexuality because it just feels fundamentally wrong every time I explore it. So there's that. And that is why I want gender reassignment surgery. Again, it's just, I just want to be rid of it, you know. I have phantom genital sensations, and I have since I was like, possibly since I was a kid, because even though I don't remember it as being phantom sensations when I was a kid, I definitely, you know, had a recurring habit of turning it inside out and sticking it between my thighs to pretend that it wasn't there. So, you know, the impulse was there, even though I don't expressly remember it being gender related. And then once I was a teenager, trust me, I recognized immediately what it was. And it's been a persistent source of distress ever since then. So there's that. And then again, then there's the facial issue, which I've already talked about. And I just have no idea how to figure out which one is causing me more distress and which one is going to be the thing that would improve my state of mind more. You know, what's more important? The ability to be in a relationship with someone and just not worry about it. You know, you are physically a girl, so you can just be in a relationship with someone completely unashamed and actually have a female body that people can find attractive as a female body, and not just like only be attracted to people who are specifically attracted to trans girls. That I feel like could be a huge plus for me. Because if I could get close to somebody and, you know, I don't feel like I would feel as bad about my appearance if someone else could find me beautiful and I could be physically close to someone. But at the same time, what if I can't? You know, what if I still can't find a relationship and my life is still just entirely based on work and my own personal lounging around the house and doing my YouTube videos, where I constantly have to worry about my face so much more. See, that's the thing, is that nobody has to see my genitals, ever. The only context that that would come up in is if I was like, you know, wanting to wear a bikini at the beach or something, or wanting to go to a nudist camp for whatever reason. You know, aside from that, nobody sees it. It's just tucked. You know, people who found out that I'm trans at work, they had no idea whether, you know, people, even if they know you're trans, have no idea what your surgical status is, because it's impossible to tell. Once you're tucked, it's flat. Nobody can see it. So, you know, that's the question, is would getting gender reassignment surgery actually alleviate my social dysphoria issues, where I'm afraid of how people are perceiving me? Because the thing is, they're still going to see me as exactly the same person. And aside from that one part, which is strictly for me and any potential partner, nobody sees it. So would that help me really feel more comfortable? And would it help me get over my inadequacy feelings with my overall appearance? You know, would I feel more comfortable dressing feminine? Would I feel more comfortable in my own body? Or is it the facial surgery that's going to do that? And I actually just watched the trans romantic comedy Boy Meets Girl, and it's kind of weird. It's like Michelle Hendley, who starred in that movie, is pre-op bottom. There's actually a nude scene with her, and you know, she emerges from the water and asks, "Do you still find me beautiful?" And the thing is, she is still beautiful, and it's because, and she has had facial feminization surgery. So part of it is because she has such a feminine, beautiful face. So I'm wondering, mentally, if I looked completely female externally, would that therefore lead to greater self-acceptance in terms of feeling beautiful as well? It's just a really difficult conundrum. I'm having a hard time figuring this out. And again, it's such an important decision, because whatever I do choose to do, it is the thing that I'm going to be counting on improving my mental state enough for the 2.5 years that I'm going to be stuck in limbo again, trying to save up for the other one. Whatever I choose has to carry me through that period. So, big decision. Which one do I go into? And thinking through this hasn't really resolved it that well. It feels like every time I start thinking that one is going to be the most important, suddenly, like, oh, there's been several times where I've said, you know what, I don't need facial feminization surgery. Genitals, done. And then something has triggered me about my face, and I've gone right back to thinking, oh my God, I have to get FFS now. I cannot stand looking at my masculine face anymore. And, you know, that it just goes back and forth. So it's so hard to figure out. This is just one of the things that, you know, we trans girls have to go through that cis girls don't. You get to have it all for free. Where, you know, I have to compartmentalize the ability to just have a normal female body. I have to compartmentalize it into these stages. And I have to try and figure out which stage is going to make me feel the happiest with my body and accept myself the most. So, based on what I've said, advice maybe, it's so tough to figure out. You know, one thing that I've thought of is that Dr. Van de Ven, who is probably the only very good quality surgeon that I can actually afford, is doing consultations in New York City this October. And I have an uncle who lives right in the New York area. So one thing that I've thought of is, okay, well, I should go get a facial feminization surgery consultation. You know, I should see what he suggests, and I should see how much it's going to cost, and, you know, just to try to get a better idea of it. But until that happens, it's still a ways away. So in the meantime, you know, perhaps people have actually gone through this. What do you suggest? You know, ideas, help, advice? You know, especially people who've had, and also, yes, anybody who's had facial feminization surgery and had gender reassignment surgery. Which one brought you the most joy? Which one made you feel the most comfortable in your body and the most comfortable with your own appearance? Did it take both? Do I just have to be patient? Etc. Whatever you have to say, feel free to say it. I'm always open to suggestions. And as always, thanks for watching. Love y'all. Bye.